Hello, critters. So you finished The Legend of Vox Machina and you're craving more, right? You think, I know, I'll go watch the original campaign.
Excellent idea. Until you hit play on episode 1 and two things smack you in the face. The questionable sound quality and the 3 to 4 hour runtime. Yikes.
Don't worry, we've got you. We're diving into the chaos so you don't have to. We'll sacrifice our ears and our evenings to bring you the recaps, highlights, and all of the behind-the-scene magic you crave.
Welcome to Vox Rewatch.
Because the past deserves a second look.
With better audio. We're just a bunch of longtime friends and proud critters who love the chaos, the characters, and the wild ride of storytelling. Join us as we dive back into it all with lots of laughs, way too many theories, and probably some tears too.
I'm Doug.
I'm Connie.
And I'm Eric. This podcast is part of Tabletop Tether, our nerdy little home for TTRPG content, deep dives, and unapologetic fan joy. Just so we're clear, Vox Rewatch is an unofficial fan podcast and isn't affiliated with or endorsed by Critical Role in any way.
All right, friends, and welcome back to Vox Rewatch. Today is episode 3, Strange Bedfellows. So, in a nutshell, here's what happened. TLDR. The party continues their descent through the dangerous depths beneath Craghammer in search of Lady Kima. That's why we're here. We pick up at the end of a fight with some Umberhulks and Duergar, where disaster has struck poor Grog Strongjaw. Had a run-in with an intellect devourer, and Whale. He only has an intelligence of 6. He was not a tasty snack, but he's catatonic now. So it started with the party going like, oh no, Grog! Trying to figure out what has happened to him. They also realized in the midst of this that they had, at the end of the last fight, actually captured a prisoner to interrogate. So they talked to this woman, Duergar. And at first, she is not really giving them much information other than some cryptic references to this figure of Kavarn. And it isn't until they really kind of get in there and use some other intimidation tactics, shall we say, where she reveals that Lady Kima might still be alive and she's definitely held deeper inside of the caverns. They do end up taking her out because she's no longer helpful to them, which leaves them with the problem they had before of what to do with catatonic Grog. It then falls onto Keyleth, who's not really feeling like she can do it, but the party does kind of rally around her, lifts her up, and she asks Scanlan for an interesting item. It's not of Pike's goddess. It is a statuette of Pike, an idol of Pike. Because Pike, if we're not aware of this, if you're new to this campaign, Pike is Ashley Johnson's character. Ashley Johnson is our cleric, and Pike has not been here at all yet due to recording issues. So she channels her inner Pike and starts casting this ritual to try to heal Grog. And we get inspiration from Scanlan and a little note of, hey, Scanlan saying, Grog might feel a little bit better because a little kissy, which Vex begrudgingly gives to him. And when he wakes up and they talk about his lips feeling wet, he's like, oh, it was Trinket. Trinket gave you the kiss. Bear kisses. And, Grog being Grog is just happy to be alive. They now have fixed that big problem. Good on them. And are now continuing their way down, kind of trying to track Kima's trail. And this is where they find an abandoned underground goblin village. And this place is an absolute horror show, where all of these goblins have giant holes in their skull, which means something or some things are eating their brains. They continue to stealth ahead, and they discover this massive Duergar war camp that's being led by obviously mind-controlled ogres and trolls, and this terrifying creature that all of the party as players knows what it is, but it's not until we actually do some history checks where finally it is Vax that remembers it's an illithid, a mind flayer. So they're trying to figure out what are we going to do to get through this camp and how are we going to handle them, where we get a really creative scheme where Keyleth ends up using hallucinatory terrain to make it look like the edge of the cliff is extended by 40 feet. Vax volunteers to come down and be a distraction while Tiberius uses his deck of illusions and throwing out 3 cards that are like a lich, a copy of himself, and some other creature. Enough to basically cause a big distraction that in hopes people are going to come out, investigate, and want to interact with these things and fall off the edge. And it actually works. They get rid of all of the trolls and some of the more elite-looking Duergar. So it seems like all of the sentry is out. But it seems like they kind of realized what's going on, and they cut the bridge. Now, Vax didn't think it was too much of a problem. He has the magic carpet. If things go south, he can pull it out and go. Well, they didn't account for the fact that mind flayers, they do things with your mind. And Vax fails in spectacular fashion as the party panics, trying to figure out how to save Vax as the bridge that he is on is starting to fall. They grab Vax. Tiberius flies in and grabs him, and the magic carpet seems to be lost. In true Vox Machina fashion, why worry about our party member when we can worry about our hard-earned magical items? And this magic carpet is the one thing that they're all like, no! Like borderline having a funeral for this flying magic carpet. When literally like 3 minutes later, like, oh, it's right down there. And Vex is able to go and grab it, recover it, and go from there. At this point, the party's a little bit shaken, trying to figure out what the next steps are. And they start kind of trying to have a vote, say what they're going to do, because they look down and they see that there's like water and maybe some like lava tunnels and tubes and things. And they want to go down, but the rest of the party isn't quite feeling that. And as they're sort of talking in between themselves, Keyleth and Vex are like, we're bored, let's go. And down they go and start exploring. And in true Legend of Zelda fashion, behind the waterfall, they do find something. The something they find isn't that, it's not treasure. Unless the treasure's the friends we find along the way, because they find an abandoned mind flayer named Clarota. He's wearing rags and is not a happy person at all, and seems very standoffish. And it isn't until they mention that they have friends, to which he kind of perks up and goes, ooh, allies. You have allies? You want to take out Kavarn? Oh, me too. Me too. Take me to your allies. And up they go. And we begin to see what's going to happen with this ally. But make sure you don't call him your friend and that you don't call him Clarence.
Do not call him Clarence.
Don't call him Clarence. And that is episode 3.
I think it's very apparent that, at least I could be wrong, and if you are watching this and have played Pathfinder, and tell me if I'm wrong, but it feels like all the clerics do in Pathfinder are heal, and no one else has any of those powers because they were very, very out of their like wheelhouse on trying to heal Grog in this situation.
Oh my god, yeah.
And I think the only saving grace was that Keyleth had to study, had to read her books to relearn that spell to save Grog, because she also found other spells that she didn't realize she could do for later on for the war camp. So like, it's interesting that that wasn't something that she thought of initially. She didn't have that list of spells ready.
I didn't think about that, because if they would have kept going, then hallucinatory terrain maybe not. Wouldn't
would have been ready.
Because I remember her saying, I need to sleep on that. I need to sleep.
Yeah.
And I do think that probably it was set up very differently, and swapping out your spells and those sort of things might not have been the same mechanic. Again, we're seeing them like learning the new systems and also like learning how to operate without having your cleric, which is terrifying when you're used to being in those situations where, you know, like the cleric's got your back, and now Keyleth, as the druid, is now operating as the party cleric. Yeah. But I thought it was nuts. She ended up rolling like a 29 or a 30, with all of the modifiers and everything that she had and the inspiration from Scanlan to fix
Yeah,
Grog.
luckily she had advantage because the first roll was not.
It was bad.
It was really bad.
It was real bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm curious, did Matt say what the DC was to fix? Was it like 20 or 20? I don't think he said what it was.
No.
I know later on sometimes he'll say like the DC was 30 or was 25 just so that they know.
Yeah,
but
when Pike comes back, there's a situation where she got it was 10, and he's like, oh, it was exactly 10 what you needed. But yeah, he said it previous to that. He hasn't said it.
Yep.
Thinking about it though, she used Greater Restoration, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That doesn't require a DC.
So I think it was more of the fun factor. I mean, we see that Matt is definitely like a rule of cool person, and I have done that where I put a DC on something because she's using Greater Restoration in a way that it's not like listed or written as. Like now I feel like I want to bring up, I'm sure you're doing the same thing of like what actually is Greater Restoration. All right. Okay, reduce exhaustion. They can be charmed or petrified and no longer. They're not cursed. And then any reduction to ability scores. So I guess technically the fix to the ability score. So it worked for it. But I do like the fact that they had the drama of like she had to roll because, and I think it was literally because she set it up of like Keyleth sounded so nervous to do this and like petrified to have to do this, and everybody's like, "Don't, Grog's gonna die. We don't want him to die." I am genuinely curious. I know that Pike had died in the previous game, like when they were at the home table, Pike had died once. I'm curious if anybody else had died in the game, which is why they had this like, not wanting them to die.
I don't know because it didn't.
They never say.
They've never brought it up. Like the only death they ever bring up is Pike's. So,
and I think too, Matt has talked about this in different interviews and videos and such, but because death is so easily overcome with spells and things, he likes to make it a little bit more of a group challenge kind of concept where everybody kind of pitches in with what they do to aid in this greater restoration spell, which is why it was kind of like everybody pulled in and she wanted that idol of Pike to champion Pike's energy, I think is the way she said it. And Scanlan talking about the kiss, and it was just like, get together, do it together. And is the DC set not so much to make it more challenging, but for them to think, oh, we need to pitch in, we need to do something more to help. I don't know.
I mean, I did end up taking the critical role rules for like Revivify and those sort of things, and I use those in my home games.
Yeah,
I think it makes sense for like dying because I agree, dying is way too easy to fix. In my current game, I am irritated at how many times I've gone down and haven't died yet, and I keep telling my DM that I was like, I want like no one ever dies. So I want the emotions that come with that to be part of our game.
You need a do not resuscitate order.
A DNR.
Do not revivify.
You need a button or something on your armor or your just do not revivify.
Only heal me after I'm dead.
If I'm not like, heal me if I'm hurt, but if I'm unconscious and really suffering, just let me go.
It's time.
Yeah. I think it definitely adds its time. The ritual adds like the drama to it again. And I think like you're saying, like it's not needed, but if we're getting people to engage and watch, it definitely is upping that. Cause I like remember the first time watching that being like, it gets you like really wanting to know what was going to happen to them. But yeah, I am a DM I've drawn blood a few times.
See, I never killed anybody. I tried.
Tim almost died. Once.
When I ran Curse of Strahd before, I killed 3 out of my 4 players. I killed 2 NPCs. It was bad. Well, only one was kind of permanent. The other ones made deals with the devil, which is a whole nother thing we can talk about later with home rules and stuff. But yeah, the first time I did it, I felt awful because I killed the DM that I was doing this whole campaign as a paternity leave for him. And I was like, oh gosh, if I do something, I'm going to feel really evil. I'll never forget Dylan just saying, just do it. Do it, Connie. Not realizing it was to him.
Oh, no.
And killed him with a fireball. And they were like, oh, he thanked me for killing him. I was like, why did you thank me? They're like, thank you. Thank you for doing that. It was their first time getting killed. I was like, ha ha ha.
I don't know how bad you feel about it, though, Connie, because the smile on your face says otherwise.
Well, okay, but like he
Getting mixed
died.
signals here, Connie.
But no, so it ended up being a really pivotal part of the game. So like I can look back and smile because like they ended up dying, and he described it as like the all is lost moment of your campaign, where like the end of your second act to take you into the third act. And they had a very beautiful death. They were in this building that was fireballed, and his goddess came to collect him, and they didn't realize what was happening yet because we roll our death saving throws in secret, so nobody knew that he had died except for the 2 of us. And and so she goes to give him a hug, and he's like, I want a hug, I'll take your hand. And I describe her pulling just his soul from his body while his body's on the ground, and the 2 of them ended up slow dancing in the building while all of like the building collapsed around them and went up in flames. So it was like a really beautiful moment.
Okay.
And it ended up like pushing the party forward and cemented how much they hated Strahd. And like, again, everything has consequences. So it was a big moment for the party. Yeah, I can look back and smile on it now because I'm not living it anymore. I did not sleep for like 3 days after I did that because I was like, I'm too empathetic. I was like, I don't like this. But I love that something that could have been glossed over so quickly of just like a quick greater restoration really had that moment to breathe and add what we now are accustomed to seeing from the game, which is where they add those really emotional moments and like tie you in and get you invested in everybody.
Yeah. I mean, you can see that with the rules for Daggerheart. They actually, you choose, if you go below your hit points, you choose what your death is going to be. So you can either go out of Blaze of Glory and have like one last attack, or you can just be there unconscious and then, you know, you have to be healed and whatnot. But yeah, I think it's interesting that that's the route that they went.
It's like I'm waiting for somebody to tell me how the game works and like just to come in the mail or something.
It's still.
Can you do that?
It's still in transit, isn't it?
It is still in transit.
Wow.
I don't know why I mean, it was on back order for a little bit. So listen, it's coming. It's coming. Don't worry.
Isn't it August, September? Or September, October? I can't remember what it said when I looked it up.
Wait, the base rules are online now, and then the book will be out.
I mean, I may have a PDF that I can reference, but...
Eric, you sailed the 7 seas?
Listen. I have to listen to episodes. I have a job.
I have a job. Here I thought we'd gotten over our issues of my disappointment with you with not voicing NPCs, and now I find out you're a pirate.
No, whoa,
Eric!
Whoa.
Whoa. Man.
When I purchased it, it PDF was given to me. There's no pirating, and I don't need that to be out there.
There we go. Okay, well now I am no longer disappointed.
All right. Screenshots of the receipt are going to be on social media because I don't need that being out there. I'm going to get a cease and desist from Critical Role here.
I promise we purchased it, I swear.
Dang.
As we had the Tabletop Tether does not endorse pirating software. We encourage you to support your friendly local gaming store.
Right? Dang.
I'm worse sometimes. I'm sorry. But Grog is better.
Grog's back. Woohoo!
Guess who's back? Groggy's back. So, oh God.
I think during that, we also get to see Percy do what Percy does. And
yes.
Percy loves to torture a guy or gal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Derolos. We're gonna. Woohoo! I do love that there was a moment where Laura was talking about the things she wanted to do, and like she stops for a moment and goes, "Is that evil? Oh, I think that's really evil."
Yeah.
Like,
what's your alignment? Whatever. Good. Like, oh yeah, that maybe we
that's
shouldn't
really
do
evil.
that.
We should do that. Like we're gonna break you and then heal you and break you again. I was like, Laura Bailey.
I mean, her alignment changes during the campaign. We will see.
Clutch those pearls, we shall.
Which, oh my gosh, her alignment change is... I cannot wait for that episode. One of my favorite episodes the entire show. With the special guest. Oh, so good.
Oh, that was one of the things I was like low-key bummed that it didn't make it into the animation with the special guest when she of like how she acquired it. I know for continuity it made more sense to not have that, but it was just a glorious thing of like, oh, you're chaotic neutral now, aren't you, honey bun? Oh, you are. Oh, you are, girl. You get that broom. It was something that became so iconic for her later on. I do love it. Anybody else get a little like at the description that Matt gave to that whole goblin village when they ran up on it and everybody was just like missing the back half of their skulls?
Yeah.
I grew up watching Starship Troopers.
Yeah.
Right.
Like
that is all that reminded me of.
I've read a lot of Stephen King. It doesn't.
It's not that I was bothered. It was just like the like. Oh, like
he was pretty descriptive.
He was really descriptive. Yeah. Like, again, I'm sorry, Amanda, if we ever play a game together, I'm going to really have to like bring my level of descriptions down for her because I don't think she can stomach it. I've seen Amanda. I'm sorry to out you like this. Amanda.
Yeah, my wife is not big on the gore and does not like describing things. So Connie will be, "How do you want to do this?" She's like, "I just do." Like,
I just do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was like, well, then I'm gonna describe it for you. Yeah, but yeah, like it's not that I was like taken aback by it. It was just like, oh God, okay, like setting the tone. I think it did a really good job of just like what they were actually walking into, because I think up until this point they weren't quite sure what they were walking into, and they still don't even know what they're actually walking into yet. But just like the like true Underdark tones of like, oh God, this is something.
Yeah. I mean, there was definitely, I think Liam knew immediately, and that there was some metagaming, like writing the line.
Metagaming.
Yeah. Ryan metagamed so much with that.
Well, Liam kind of started doing it with I think a professor at Singorn.
Well, no, that was after he passed his history check.
No, he started way before that because.
That's right, he did.
Because Vex was like, "Well, didn't you talk about one of our teachers?" And he's like, "I was just pulling that shit on my ass. Like he literally leaned over and told her that as the other people were doing their checks, and he's like, I seriously was not, that wasn't it. And then Tiberius had just come out right out and said it.
Oh, it's a mind flayer.
Without any check.
Yeah.
Which was like, okay, come on. But then Keyleth got the high enough roll that I think it was a nat 20 when they learned it was called an illithid.
Oh yeah, because of her people, they call it something different.
Yeah.
They called it an illithid, and not a mind flayer. So I did.
But back to your point about like, I don't think that before Grog went down, it was not to say they were just frolicking in the Underdark.
They kind of were.
But they kind of were, yeah. Like the danger hadn't really hit them yet. Once that happened, besides telling Grog, hey, don't go running off on your own, don't go running forward, so don't charge ahead so quickly. Once they saw the wounds, they learned about the illithid, it was like everything got a little bit more somber, everything got a little bit more serious, and the risk level just went way up.
Yeah, they started stealthing much more and really like taking their time with things and being a lot more like thoughtful with that.
Yeah.
But yeah. I will say, I absolutely loved the use of hallucinatory terrain. I feel like that is such an underrated spell that isn't used too often. And it was so cool to actually see like Keyleth be able to utilize it in a way. And I feel like this is maybe like the one and only time Vox Machina has ever planned something out loud and actually did what they planned.
That's fair.
For the mostly what they planned.
Yes. For the most part.
Yeah.
I appreciate the fact that like that was such a D&D moment, like going through all that. And comparing this to future episodes and like future campaigns, they're professional D&D players. So like they've been through it all a lot, and you don't see as much of that as you get further along in the history of Critical Role. So I really appreciate that, because I mean, Matt just sat there and just let them talk. And like I've had those moments as a DM where I'm like, come on guys, figure something out so we can move this on.
Yeah. They were all going back and forth. What do we do? How does this work? And then just they're like, I go! Like, Liam just being like, I lead the charge. Let's just go.
Oh, and his whole battle cry walking across the bridge and what he says. It's just it's so good. He pulls these things out of thin air and just runs with them. It's amazing.
I got his Shakespeare vibes when he was
saying
all that.
Yeah.
But we can't skip Rambo Scanlan going on his own.
To actually investigate. I'm sorry to investigate, but what was the line that he used? Don't worry.
I'm awesome and hung. Isn't that
well hung?
What?
And hung, yeah.
I'm super brave and hung.
Super brave
and hung.
Yeah.
As he went off
to
investigate.
That?
And he was the one that actually found that it was a mind flayer on the other side and described it to them.
Yeah.
I feel like we don't see a lot of moments with Scanlan like this later on where he's going out and I take that back, because we have the Rambo moment later.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite episodes when he becomes Scanbo. But I feel like he doesn't do this often. Like he typically will leave other people to do the scouting and like the I don't know. I feel like Scanlan only jumps in when it's ridiculously dangerous and not when it's mildly dangerous.
Yeah. That's fair. Yeah.
It's either all the glory or none.
Yeah. But man,
all that was Pike.
It's all for Pike.
Yeah. I think Connie said it in an earlier episode. Just he is a awesome support character. Like he does not need to be the main show. So
He really plays it beautifully. And again, I will tell you, the way that I manage my spells is 100% learned from Sam Riegel, who's the person that always says, but I don't know how to play D&D. I'm really bad at it. And just watching how well he learned how to manage spells, which we learn much later on when we get to critical fights and he's pulling out these high level spells when everybody else is tapped. And I'm like, chef's kiss, buddy. You have taught me to hang on to those until like the all is lost moment. And you're like, oh, wha-bam. But he really is such a brilliant player. Like he really is. Again, the only thing I can't stand, Sam Riegel. Can we talk for a second here? Can we talk? Why do you roll like this? Why? Why is that how you roll a dice?
Care about like he commented on Tiberius's like abundance of dice. He kind of picks on everybody about their dice sometimes. He's just like whatever. Like that's not his focus at all. It's great, but yeah, I totally get it. It's just this weird.
I think it was last game when he rolled the lightning bolt and didn't have enough dice for it, and him go 68, 68, and like everybody just throwing dice at him in order to roll. Yeah, it is so him. It's just like, buddy, come on. It's my one thing. See. That's the hill I'm gonna die on. I have picked it. That is it.
Listen, I'll take his rolling over Ashley's crap dice that she has to roll a million times.
That keep getting cocked. And you know, when we talk about dice, I am waiting for when Don't Fuck Me Gil finally makes its arrival.
Yep.
Because for our friends that aren't familiar, Gil is a metal worker, and he made dice for them. I believe he made them for Marisha at first, because it came from Marisha saying "Don't fuck me, Gil" or Taliesin. It was one of the two of them, and the dice will say "fuck" if you land on a natural 1. So if you roll a 1, it was literally you got fucked by Gil's dice, so it became "Don't fuck me, Gil," and then that just became the chant that they would say later on, "Don't fuck me, Gil," and go from there.
Yep.
I still want one of those dice. I am a dice dragon. I am not a dice goblin. I officially have a hoard that I sit upon with my dice, and I still want one of those. But I'm recovering dice dragon.
There's a set that I missed in the Critical Role shop, and I'm so bummed. It's the Matron Raven dice, and they're not selling them anymore. So I'm going to have to wait till someone sells them on eBay or something.
If there are any listeners, watchers that
mean,
are following us and would like to donate some dice to Eric.
To Eric's cause.
Just, look us up on the socials. And
at Tabletop Tether on all of the interwebs. We'll get a P.O. box soon, friends.
Right.
For those, I might give out my address. You don't know.
Whoa, Eric. No, I have 2 Critical Role sets of dice. One is actually dice, and then one is the first run they ever did of the D20s. That they did for everybody from campaign 1. Many moons ago during COVID, I was sewing dice bags for people that have problems with dice like I do. And I make dice bags like this big for people's, like that big. And as a thank you, they sent me the Vox Machina dice. And then the other set that I have is my first set of metal dice I bought at the 2018 New York City live show that they did for campaign 2. And they're just copper. There's nothing special. They just say CR in the 20. But those dice hold a special place in my heart because they were the dice that I rolled my first ever divine intervention with.
Ooh. Okay.
Nice.
I rolled a 9. I'll never forget. I took a picture of those dice because we were going to die and then we didn't.
That's awesome.
So those are the only like CR. I see what they have now, especially with like Laura Bailey and like Music and Hearts, being the person in charge of like their merchandise and dice now, and seeing like I just saw like the Jester dice that are out. They're so cute.
Yeah.
Ooh. and I like the dice molds they're using now. See, this is where I nerd out and talk about the style of dice molds. And I like the sharp edge dice, and like I like the crystal style dice for the D4, where it's like oh god, I'm gonna pull it out. Oh god, this style for your D4. I like that much better because they're way easier to read. But that's just me. As I'm sitting here, like, guys, don't worry. I've got an emergency tin of dice beside my desk, in addition to my just looking dice.
I have a set that is a shield, gauntlets, sword, dagger, helm. Like every one is a different D20 to D4.
Are those
They're
my
awesome.
Polyhero?
I think that's I think those are the ones. Yeah.
See,
Nerds.
I had the witch's hat for a while, and that was really fun. And I would always choose to spin it at the most inopportune moments at the table, and we'd just sit there watching this top spin as everybody stares at me. I was like, "For what? It's fun!" As I'm like just sitting there watching it spin.
I just saw this one. This guy built a wooden sword, but it has a thing in it that you click a button to click the dice that you want, but if you hit it against something, it randomly selects a number. So
nice.
Yeah, I'll have to send you guys the video.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, see, that's the thing that makes my dice dragon heart happy. Give me the weird shit at this point. I've seen everything else.
Vox ring.
Some links in the description.
Yeah, we should link some things.
You have your ring, don't you?
I do have a D. No, not right now. I have a different fidget ring, but yeah, I have a D20 fidget ring. The only downside is you have to put some like graphite in it once in a while to keep it rolling smoothly. To keep it otherwise it just barely rolls. But yeah, it's a fun D20.
I will never forget the sorcerer at our table for a long time used that to track his HP.
That's sad.
Yeah.
Oh, Jake. I wonder what you're doing now, Jake.
All right. So they pulled the Duergar out of the camp using the hallucinatory terrain.
Yes, they did.
A deck of illusions with a veteran, a lich, and a clone of Tiberius.
Yes.
Yep.
Can we talk about bad news?
Yeah, we finally got to he was trying to fire bad news, and that was such.
Yeah,
he was trying to stop the Duergar from cutting the bridge, and it misfired.
Yeah.
But when the Illithid came out, he knocked it down, and they're like, shoot it again. He's like, no, I'm gonna wait till he stands up. I'm gonna be an asshole. And then he missed, and it was like,
No, but I also love you were saying with that, like how he's like, I'm gonna wait until he stands up. Taliesin Jaffe knowing that he's going to have disadvantage when they're laying down and prone. Yeah. But I love the way that he said it, like, no, I'm just going to wait till he stands up to be an asshole, because that's so Percy. When Laura Bailey's like doing this and then someone else chimes in, oh, it's disadvantage. Like, I like the way that Taliesin plays like that. Like, he definitely, he's an eldritch creature. He's been around for millennia. He knows how the game works. He's been there when the ancient tomes were written.
Didn't he get Cthulhu locked away in the first place? Wasn't he there for that?
And I like how he plays Percy and all of his characters, really, where he definitely knows what they can do and how the rules work, but he will never metagame. He'll always have a reason, and this is why I do this. It's because I want to wait for him to stand up, because I'm a dick about it. Yeah, it's not just because I know I'm going to have disadvantage on the hit with bad news. Yeah. I feel like we don't see bad news misfire and jam as much later on in the campaign when we talk about seeing how Percy uses his weapons. I know that we have the reloading mechanic is still there. Yeah. I feel like we don't see him make ammunition as much either later in the campaign as well. I know he still makes it, but not as often as I feel like like when they do their long rests, he's talking about making ammo and those sort of things. And
Right.
I wondered, like what you said before, if that's just the transition from Pathfinder to 5e, where they're finding like that mechanic that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, I know that they made several changes to the published Gunslinger.
Yeah.
So I'd be willing to bet that the first iteration, the misfire was a lot higher on Bad News. And then probably got it reduced because he does misfire quite a bit in the beginning.
A lot.
Yeah.
You know, and I know that basically his Gunslinger is just a reskinned fighter.
Yeah.
You know, where he's got his second
Yeah.
wind and all of the other
There's a
action
mention
surge.
somewhere of he's getting up with 4 shots at some point, 4 attacks, and he's like, he was so excited about that coming. I don't know when that happens for a fighter, but yeah, that was
level 20. 4 attacks is pretty late.
I feel like it's not 20, but like usually you get like you tap into like your higher level abilities by around like 17, 18, somewhere in there.
Or is that action surge? Is that what he's talking about?
Oh well, action surge would that happens much
right
sooner.
away.
That happens at like level 5.
Oh
I
yeah,
think.
he should already have that then. Yeah, I don't know.
But he did use it at the last campaign. The last game I remember him talking about, or not last game, oh my god, but the last session I remember him talking about using it at the last encounter. Like, I'll use my action surge. So yeah, he should definitely, if they're all 9th level, he should definitely have it by then.
Right. Maybe that was what he was referring to then.
That would make sense to have everything loaded. But yeah, I definitely feel like Bad News is bad news for him more than other people at the beginning of this
Not only
campaign.
the range, but the amount of damage that thing does. And he ignores half or 3/4 cover right off the bat. So like, and he crits on 19 and 20.
But that also could have been an ability, because if you have the sniper, or I know there's like spell sniper, and then there's one with like archery and stuff that you can take, that you ignore half cover and long range. Yeah. So that also just could have been a feat that he had taken.
That could have been a feat.
Yeah.
Because if they're level,
I think there was mention of that at one point.
Because if they're level 9, then he could have just taken that at level 8, where he could have gotten that feat. My thought. I know some things about D&D sometimes. Not all of the times, though. Just some of the times.
I'm trying to think.
They gave Vax They gave Vax the magic carpet to be able to like get out of trouble. And I love that that bit them in the ass so hard when the bridge was cut and everybody was panicking. And I love they were like, cut the bridge at the beginning of the fight. They're like, cut the bridge, leave Vax, it's fine.
Yeah.
And then he ends up getting left on the bridge anyway.
Yep.
Oh man. And then showing like the difference again with like Tiberius. Orion, I don't know how well he knew his spells or how much they had changed from like Pathfinder to that, because there's a lot of times where he's trying to do like too many actions a turn or casting 2 concentration spells at a time, which again also can just be that they're regular players. And so you're seeing regular players make mistakes that regular people make. I felt like Matt handled that really well of like, well, if you cast that, you're going to fall and he's going to play. He's like, oh. And I appreciate that he gave them the opportunity to retcon that before it became a big problem.
Yeah.
But that was one of the things I have noticed with Orion is he's definitely like having more things with the spells. But again, that could just be because of like changing from Pathfinder to 5e. I don't know how big of a difference that is. But yeah, he grabbed Vex.
There's also this is the second time at least that I can remember off the top of my head that a simple problem with a simple solution took multiple like angles and complications, because the carpet was seen, they found it, and everyone's like, well, we have endless rope, let's tie it to Laura or to Vex Vex and she, and it's like Orion's like wait I'm flying. And it's like, what? oh yeah, you can just fly down and do that. The sigil in the last episode, it's like, well, we have a magic carpet, we'll just fly over the sigil, and it's just this argument of like, we have all these different things we can do, and Scanlan comes in, no, let me just unseen servant the door. Like, why is this so difficult for these situations? But it's
such
so
typical
great.
D&D.
Yeah,
it's such typical D&D.
Yeah, overcomplicating a situation, overthinking it.
Bringing up the endless rope, though, and Connie, you mentioned the chat last episode. So they actually tied that endless rope to the carpet.
Did.
They didn't need to do anything. They could have just pulled it up.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
didn't need to do it at all. And the spamming of you tied the rope to it, just filling the chat, was amazing. So.
But why did they tie it initially?
Just like to pull it back.
For that reason.
Was it for that part of it, though?
It was before that. I think they did it so that they had a grip on it. Because they love that thing more than they love their future children.
Yes, they do.
Was that during the first flyover when Vex, and Scanlan went? Did they tie it then?
Oh, maybe.
Maybe.
I can't remember exactly.
I don't remember that.
I just remember the chat going off.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's funny.
It was bad. It was good, but it was so bad.
Yeah.
Again, I think that's the charm of it, like being the newer game and seeing the chat, actually being able to read it and just having that there is just so good.
Yeah.
And then, they get back, and everybody is okay. And again, in like true D&D fashion, them all trying to be like, let's be diplomatic. Let's figure this out. And then two players are bored and are like, peace out, and just go.
Yeah.
Yep.
With Vex and Keyleth, which actually, like, I was not surprised that Vex went. The one that surprised me being like that was Keyleth. Because she doesn't seem to be that type of person that will just go and explore and get into trouble. And I don't know. I feel like after she went in her Aramente, she definitely like fell more into like that leadership role and position of like being cautious and thinking things clearly. So this might have just been like baby Kiki, or it might have just been Marisha coming through.
I think a little bit that. I think it more. We can blame it on Keyleth getting caught up in the moment. But yeah, it was definitely the girl power. Let's go do this.
I think early Keyleth has a little bit of the oppositionally defiant streak in her. I think it shows up couple episodes from now. It shows up when dealing with a certain
Oh my god, yes!
So
yes!
I think that it's Marisha coming through, but it's also this younger, maybe like, there's this expectation on her from father and previous leaders of, so yeah, definitely an oppositional defiance going on, which is I'm down for because that's what I do too. So I'm good with that. But
no,
I too
it
like to defy people.
Yeah. It was definitely an interesting dynamic in that moment of like, we don't need them. Let's just do it. Yeah.
And I just love that while they're down there like exploring and they find the stuff behind the waterfall and they're all cheering, Sam's up at the top, with everybody else, and he's like Scanless is like, I'm sure they're not finding anything, guys. It's fine. Don't worry about it. As they're exploring the lava tubes and obviously finding something. I love the little, when he peppers in those little like funny beats. Like it's so good. And then them finding Chlorota was a whole another thing, and like Keela trying to druid craft and trying to be so helpful, and again the girl cannot riz anybody to save her life.
Nope. Although I think she did a decent job with her check, didn't she?
She did, but Chlorota also rolled poorly too, if I remember correctly.
That'll do it.
But I think also like Vex was helping too, so like it was kind of the combined girl power, because Vex is very charming when she wants to be.
Yeah. Although they made that situation super complicated as well.
Oh my god, did they ever, with like trying to get him back? Oh, we'll take the rope. No, you be a bird. You be this. We'll carry this. We need Tiberius to bring the carpet back. And
Keyleth can turn into an eagle, and I'll throw something at it. Like you're in a
Yeah.
cave. Like what? Just do it. Just and the whole time Travis was like, "Well, go, girls. You wanted this. Go check it out. You got to explore it. You got to figure out what's in there. Don't stop now."
Mm-hmm. Because he just described it as like a pile of dirty clothes in the beginning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then
there was a little bit of problematic Orion moments in that situation too.
Yeah. I think that's when we start to see
in the spotlight of the moment that was happening that they had that should have been, and Travis was like, "Nope, you're not there," a couple times just to kind of keep him out of it.
Yeah.
And there were some looks. I was going to come down here, and they were all being buttholes. Like that was kind of probably an inappropriate thing to say to the rest of your party as they were trying to keep this moment between two people.
But sorry.
Oh, no.
Guys, don't worry. It's like 2:00 in the afternoon here. I just need more coffee. It's fine. It's not like it's close to midnight. It's fine.
As I look down at the clock, I'm like, oh shit, it is.
Yeah.
Guys, time is just an illusion.
All right, so
they find Clarota, they bring him up, and they talk about allies. And I think the thing that won Clarota over, I'm not sure if it was Vex or Keyleth that had mentioned like wanting to get revenge against K'varn.
Yep.
Or like wanting to take out K'varn, and Clarota was like,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You want to free my hive? And I think that's when I love how like creepy Matt played Clarota like this like they, I think watching the regret on Laura and Marisha's face is when he started talking, and they're like, oh no, what did we just ally ourselves with? Of just Clarota, just like the way that he would talk and describe things was just very like, you know.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
For me, it was a very personal experience of like that person that's next to you at the bar, and you say, oh, hi, cool, and then they won't leave you, and then they start talking about their dog and all of the other things. You're like, okay,
Wait. Isn't that how we all became friends at one point or other? We were just kind of like,
we bonded over hot wings.
Yes.
We bonded over hot wings, atomic wings to be exact.
Go ahead.
No. You tell.
I was gonna say, this is why I'm an introvert and I don't talk to anybody, so these situations don't come up.
I do think I forced myself upon you, Eric, working at the front at Target with you.
Maybe a little bit. I'm glad you did, but
right, we're not complaining.
Because I remember chatting with you all the time, Doug. But yeah, I had to find you.
I didn't have to do that with Eric, though.
We were like coworkers, though. Like we all worked at Target together.
But you came in consistently way earlier than you needed to, and just sat in the back corner near the photo lab and talked to me.
I didn't have any friends, guys.
And then I worked in that photo lab.
Great, yeah.
Did you ever work at the Butler one?
No, not the Butler one.
Only Cranberry for me.
Did you work at it when it was Kodak or Target?
Kodak.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Well, no, it was all Kodak branded stuff.
No,
so maybe it was Target, but it was everything was Kodak branded, but it was through Target. Okay.
Yeah, it was Target.
Listen, guys, this is how old we are. We developed film.
Yeah, I did. I went to art school to develop film too, so I felt like I was doing something with my degree at that point.
But to be fair, we did a lot of digital prints too, trying to maybe not age us as much as aged us.
I made so many families' Christmas cards for the poor little old grandmas that had no idea how to resize something or add font or when you needed to put the apostrophe. Is there apostrophe after the S? Is it S apostrophe S? Please tell me. I don't know.
I don't miss Christmas cards at all.
No.
Not even a little bit.
No, not at all.
I don't either. And I'll never forget just standing over that bag, and you put the film in and you just have your hands in both sides and just work by touch. I was pretty good at it because, like I said, I had to do it in art school, but I never forget training people, and they'd be sitting there for like 10, 15 minutes. They go, Connie! Put my arms in and like hope for the best that I could figure out what had happened.
Do you remember having to discharge the disposable cameras?
Yes!
Oh, yeah.
Yes!
That was always a treat.
Uh-huh.
Oh, man. Oh.
So what do you guys think was in the water?
Oh, the thing that was pulling stuff out?
Yeah.
Yeah, so 2 trolls and an ogre fell over the cliff because of the terrain, hallucinatory terrain, and they saw them all get taken under. I mean, Sam mentioned a whale. Could have been a whale.
In my mind, it's always been a kraken.
That's what I was thinking too. It sounded very Kraken adjacent, but I'm thinking like, do Kraken exist in the Underdark?
Oh.
What is it?
Is there an answer?
Well, not in this episode. But like I said, I have been.
Don't leave us hanging.
I don't know how to spell it.
They don't ever fight it, do they?
No, but it is mentioned by Clarota. It may be in this episode.
Is it an aboleth?
Yes.
That makes sense that an aboleth would be with.
What's an aboleth?
It's an aberration.
It might not be. It might not be this episode because Pike is back for a conversation with Clarota about, and it's the wording she uses that ends up making it known. So it'll be. I think it's next episode.
Are you looking at the picture of it now, Eric?
I am. I want to play with.
Aboleths are fun. They're nasty, but they're fun. Aberrations are always fun.
Well, that's okay. I want to play with it. I want to make it my pet.
I'll discuss later another cool thing that I'm using for a homebrew game that I have going on that is not anywhere near this discussion, but you'll enjoy it later when I tell you about it if you think an aboleth is cool.
Okay.
But yeah, so they have that to handle. See, that makes sense because like aberrations hang out with each other. Just like I know what Kavarn is. I think all of you know what Kavarn is, but you are wonderful viewers if you'd never watched before. What's Kavarn? The world will never know until later.
A puppy.
A fluffy puppy.
Fluffy puppy. That is Kavarn. Guys, Eric said it right here. Fluffy puppy.
Spoilers. Sorry.
Spoilers.
I ruined it.
I am so excited to see the shenanigans that happen having Clarota in the party and what happens with like Clarota and Vax later on and all of those fun hijinks. This is one of the reasons why I think it's important for people to listen to this campaign because of Clarota, Lady Kima, and just general character development. What were you going to say, Doug?
I remembered a detail that will come up later. They found some magical armor, and Vax changed into the magical armor. And there is a reason that was a good thing because it gave him a +2 to his AC.
But
there will be a really
need.
bad reason for doing that, for him to regret that in a couple episodes. So that's something that'll throw that little teaser.
And that'll linger. That choice will linger for a while.
Yes, it lingers for a bit.
Yeah. See, I don't think you remember. You don't remember, do you, Eric?
I don't.
Oh, we'll discuss when we turn the cameras off. Because unfortunately, that's for later episodes, my friends. But that's it for our episode, right? They have Clarota. They have an uneasy ally, a strange bedfellow. We've come full circle, folks.
Yep.
We can call him Clarence for short, right?
I will never. That is something that has to be clipped. Meckwing.
Clarota. I wish I could do that voice the way he does it.
Clarota.
I think he's
It's like
inhaling half of that.
Yeah, it's like
he's inhaling. Yeah.
Consistently inhaling it.
Yeah. Oh, I gotta do that
amazing.
voice. Oh, it's hard, but I should do that for
Yeah.
monsters. That's spooky.
Need to have lots of water. Whoa. On that note, where can you find us, Eric?
You can find us on all the social platforms at Tabletop Tether, or our website, tabletoptether.com, where you can check out new episodes, articles on things like board game reviews, and fun D&D homebrew stuff. So, yeah, check us out.
I promise you I won't threaten you this time. HR has spoken to me. We'll only find you if you want us to. But we're on the interwebs.
Good job, Connie.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Vox Rewatch is the unofficial podcast and is not approved or endorsed in any way by Critical Role. Critical Role and all related content are owned by Critical Role Productions. This podcast is for non-commercial transformative use under the Critical Role fan content policy. For more info, visit critrole.com.